Welcome to Music City Kids. My name is Tamara with Love in a Big World, and I'm so glad that you are here to join us today. We are here to help you grow strong in mind, body, and heart. Today we are talking about love in a big world. And that means that we can be changed by love, and we can make a difference in this big world by choosing to love. Now, what is love? Love is all the things that we talk about here on Music City Kids. Love is courageous, love is honest, love is kind, love is cooperative, love is dependable, love is self-controlled, love is self-aware, love is courteous, love is forgiving, love is all these things and so much more. And it begins with a choice. It begins with a choice to love ourselves, to love others, and to give of ourselves to make a difference in this big world. You know, you and I can make a difference even in bad situations when we choose to love. And I want to start off today by sharing with you a very special address from one of our former presidents. President Abraham Lincoln addressed the nation in 1863 at Gettysburg. And this is what he said. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men and women are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives, that the nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to aid or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they here gave the full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. As we move into election week, we need to remember President Lincoln's words. We need to remember that we have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And for that reason, we must get involved. Remind your parents and family members to vote, please. And also, find ways that you can give back to your community. Let your voice be heard by the love that you show to those around you. One of the other things that we must remember is that President Lincoln declared, all men are created equal. All men and women are created equal. That all of us have equal value in the eyes of our Creator. And therefore we must live our lives to honor the value of each one of us by showing respect and kindness. And that, my friends, is what love in a big world is all about. Now, to get us started today, that was our history moment. We're going to start moving with our friend Jacob. So get up, grab 2 balls that you can use for some juggling, hand-eye coordination, and get moving.
Hi everyone, I'm back with another hand-eye coordination challenge. We're going to use 2 balls again. We're going to keep working on the theme of throwing 2 balls at the same time, going up from each hand. This time, we're going to add a new type of catch. Instead of letting the ball land in your hand like this, we're going to grab it from the top. So just try doing that with one hand. And try doing that with the other hand. You throw it up. You don't have to throw it too high. Just a little throw and catch it grabbing down. So what's fun with that is you can start making some rhythms a little faster this way. Right? You can throw both at the same time now. So you're throwing at the same time and catching down. You can alternate like we've done before, and then alternate together. Alternate together. Here's what we're going to do next. It's a little hard. You don't have to get it the first time. Just pick it up, keep trying, have fun with it. It's the learning process. It's supposed to be where you're not quite getting it, then you kind of get it. Maybe you go to sleep for a day, wake up again, and then it clicks. So here we go. We're going to do the palm down catches, but we're going to add in crossing our hands to catch them, like this. You see it? That's pretty advanced, but I want to push you to try something that's a little beyond your comfort zone. And again, you can slow it down and try it without the cross hands as much as you need to. So have fun, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Jacob. Now, I've got to confess something. I added a little something extra to the Gettysburg Address when I read it to you. President Lincoln wrote and said, "All men are created equal." And I added, "and women." Why did I do that? Because all people, regardless of their gender, class, creed, socioeconomic status, are equal in the sight of God. So, here in America, women are still working for equality in pay and other areas, and we didn't gain the right to vote until the early 1900s. But not only has this equality been a struggle for women, it has also been a struggle for Black Americans. And here to tell us a little bit more about that and her family's journey is Dr. E, the anthropologist.
Hey, Tamara and friends. Well, I wanted to show you my I voted sticker because I got a chance to vote early for the upcoming election, and I'm so glad that I did. Because for me, voting is really important because it's a way of being able to elect people into office that I believe will have the best interest of all of the people at heart and people who will work to make this world a better place. And when I vote, not only do I vote for the change that I want to see happen in the world here and now, but I also vote as a way to be able to honor courageous people who made sacrifices to make it possible for me to be able to vote. And one of those people is my grandmother, Zipporah Elizabeth Gilley Booker. And my grandmother was born in 1919. And the year after she was born, the 19th Amendment was ratified that made it possible for women to vote in the United States. And many years before she was born, there was also the 15th Amendment that was passed in 1870 that made it possible for Black men to vote in the United States. But after the 15th Amendment was passed and also the 19th Amendment was passed, many states did not want Black people to be able to vote. So they changed their constitutions and put into place laws and practices to make it difficult for Black people to vote. They instituted things like poll taxes, where people had to pay money in order to be able to vote or register to vote. They also instituted things like literacy tests, where people had to prove that they could read or write or understood sections of the Constitution in order to actually be able to register or to vote. As well, many Black people had their lives threatened and in fact had their lives taken if they attempted to register to vote and or to vote. And my grandmother was one of those courageous people, that she was the first Black person in Holmes County, Mississippi to register to vote in the 1960s. And she had to pass a literacy test in order to be able to prove that in fact she could read and write, so therefore that would make her eligible to vote. And her life was threatened as well. But even with all of that, she decided that she was going to register to vote, and she was in fact going to vote. And that's what she did. And not only did she do that, but she also helped many people, along with my grandfather, to be able to register to vote in Holmes County, Mississippi, and across the state of Mississippi, because she believed that voting was just that important. And so it is in honor of people like my grandmother and my grandfather that I believe it's important for me to vote here and now. I vote to honor what they did, but I also vote because I know that it's important to use my vote and my voice to be able to make a difference in this world. And when I do that, and I stand up for what I believe, I'm helping to spread love in a big world. And so until next time, make sure that you're using your voice to be able to make this world a better place. And so until then, I'll see you later. Bye.
Thanks, Dr. E. Now we've got something new for you today here on Music City Kids to get your mind working. Some brain teasers with Steve from Living Maths all the way in South Africa. So here's how it works. We're going to give you the problem in part 1, and then a little bit later on in the show, you'll get the solution. See if you can figure it out.
Hello friends, and welcome to a brand new series of brain teasers. This is my chance to get you to exercise the grey matter between your ears. Here comes your first one. 3 friends decide to take a road trip. They travel to a town in the middle of nowhere, and they come across a small hotel. The hotel owner says, listen here, it's going to cost you $10 each per night if you are sharing a room. $10 each? That seems pretty reasonable. That's no problem. And they each pull out a $10 bill and they hand it over to the hotel owner. 3 $10 bills, that makes $30. But then of course, one of the gentlemen noticed there's a sign on the wall, and the sign says, today is Wacky Wednesday, which means it's only $25 for the room. Well, $25 for the room, and they were paying $30. They go to the hotel owner and they say, but today's Wacky Wednesday. And he goes, you're absolutely right. And he hands them 5 $1 bills. So they've given each 10, that makes $30. He gives them $5 back. They take the $5 and each of them takes $1. But now there are $2 left over. They give that as a tip to the guy that is helping carry their luggage up to their room. So let me just see if we've got this right. 3 people each give $10. They each then get $1 back. Do you agree that means they each paid $9? 9 plus 9 plus 9 is 27. And then of course there were $2 that they gave for the tip. 27 and 2 makes 29. Where is my missing dollar? Try to work it out, and I'll be back in a bit with the solution.
Now here's a special word from one of our community leaders, Harry Allen of Studio Bank.
Hello, I'm Harry Allen. I am the co-founder and chief relationship officer of Studio Bank. I have 3 young kids. I'm proud father. I serve the community. I grew up in Nashville and take every opportunity I can to give back. I've been the president of the Downtown Nashville Rotary Club, very active with the Center for Nonprofit Management and serve on their board of directors, as well as a trustee for Belmont University. So I'm so glad to be with you today. So let's talk about responsibility. I've got 3 kids, 9, 8, and 4. And even at their ages, we're talking about how to be responsible, how to take care of the things you have, whether they're toys or schoolwork, and being stewards of the resources that are entrusted to you. That's what I think about when I think about responsibility. The more that you are responsible, the more trust comes your way. If people can think that when I encounter Harry, he's going to be consistent in how he treats me, he's going to be responsible with the things I give him, which in my case as a banker, it's their money, so I better be responsible with it. The more I demonstrate that, the more that they give respect and responsibility back to me. And so it's this give and take. And as you're walking through the halls of school, or even as you're learning in virtual settings these days, think about how you are showing up with friends and teachers, and how you can be responsible. I'll remember that on a daily basis as well. So this has been a lot of fun. I want you to remember how you show up in the world, and make sure that those encounters that you have, intentional and accidental, are ones of warmth and kindness, and that you leave an impression after you've left a place.
So here's a bit more about our American history. African Americans had the right to vote according to the 15th Amendment, which was ratified in February of 1870. Of course, during that time, it only gave men, black men, the right to vote. But even though they had that right, they didn't get to exercise it until much later. So let me give you a little chronology. That means a timeline. 1870, black men received the right to vote in the 15th Amendment. In August of 1920, with the 19th Amendment, women received the right to vote here in America. But it wasn't until 1965, with the Voting Rights Act, that black Americans were actually able to exercise their right to vote without being deterred. So, you see, it has been a struggle. But as Sharif, who's one of my best friends in the whole world, says in this upcoming song, Get Back Up, that's exactly what we need to do whenever we face a struggle. We get back up, folks. And that is love in a big world.
It's been a long time coming. It's been a hard, rough road. And all these scars tell a story. And I've learned from this heavy load. I was shaped by fire. And I was raised by pain. I was saved by God. And in my hell, I heard him say, get back up when you're knocked down, broken and bleeding with no one around. You're in this dark, but it's okay, 'cause every storm has a brighter day. So get back up, 'cause you're not alone. You're in this valley, but you'll make it home. Hope's never lost, it's always there to get you up, pick you up. Get back up when you're knocked down, broken and bleeding with no one around. You're in this dark, but it's okay, 'cause every storm has a brighter day. So get back up, 'cause you're not alone. You're in this valley, but you'll make it home. Hope's never lost, it's always there to get you up, pick you up. Get back up. Oh, get back up. And I don't have no overnight story. And I didn't get here on my own. So much love given along the way that kept me this dark, but it's okay, 'cause every storm has a brighter day. So get back up, 'cause you're not alone. You're in this valley, but you'll make it home. Hope's never lost, it's always there to get you up, pick you up. So get back up when you're knocked down, broken and bleeding with no one around. You're in this dark, but it's okay, 'cause every storm has a brighter day. So get back up, 'cause you're not alone. You're in this valley, but you'll make it home. Hope's never lost, it's always there to get you up, pick you up, get back up. Oh, yeah. Get back up. Get up, take me higher. What tries to kill me only makes me stronger. Like the phoenix reborn in the ashes. Maya Angelou, still I rise. On fire, I'm a man unstoppable. Greater is he, light in the dark, beacon in the storm. No weapon form, getting you up, picking you up. Hope is never lost, so you gotta get back up. When you're knocked down, broken and bleeding with no one around. You're in this dark, but it's okay, 'cause every storm has a brighter day. So get back up, 'cause you're not alone. You're in this valley, but you'll make it home. Hope's never lost, it's always there to get you up, pick you up. So get back up. You gotta get back up, yeah. Get back up, yeah. So get back up. I'm always there to get you up, pick you up, get back up.
I gotta tell you, I'm so excited about what we're talking about today. It's important. We have to be educated and empowered so we can make a difference in this big world. So here is a reading suggestion to get you motivated on this path of education and empowerment. Read Mahatma Gandhi's story in the book Peaceful Heroes by Jonah Winter. And if you don't know about Gandhi, you've got to find out about him. Gandhi dedicated his life to the independence of India. He taught his followers to protest through nonviolence in order to achieve freedom. One of my favorite quotes of Gandhi's is this: "Be the change that you want to see in the world." So find out more about this incredible man, and also do a little bit more research to find out who he influenced that impacted our country. All right, here on Music City Kids, we've got history and literature and math and civics and music and art with Miss LaWanna.
Hey everybody, it's good to see you again. Today I have a really fun craft that is going to go along with, I hope, reading that you are already doing. Now I know you've got your homework and I know you have your assignments, but the kind of reading I'm talking about is fun reading. Reading that you can do when you're in the car on a little trip, when you have some quiet time at home. This is the kind of reading I used to do when I was your age, and I loved books when I was younger. I mean, I would read book after book after book. And one thing that really made reading special was that I had a special bookmark that kept my page so I'd know where I left off at and where to start when I picked up my book again. So today I thought we would make a bookmark for you to mark your page so that you don't forget your place when you come back to your favorite book. Let's get into it. All right, for this project, you'll need construction paper, your paints, scissors, popsicle sticks, and marker. All right, so we're going to glue together 2 popsicle sticks. If you have the fatter popsicle sticks, you'll only need 1. You won't have to do this step, but let's glue 2 together and put them to the side to dry. And then take another popsicle stick and we're going to trace out 2 popsicle sticks about this length and cut those out. Now, if you have anything like pink paint or red paint that you can water down, I want you to paint 2 sections in the middle, upper half of those 2 white pieces of construction paper, like this. Put them aside to dry, and then your 2 popsicle sticks should be glued together now, dry. Let's take some white paint and paint those, front and back. Put those aside to dry. And then I want you to get your orange construction paper. Grab that popsicle stick again that you traced with before, and let's trace out a shorter piece. Cut that out. And then I'm just cutting a short little piece of green because I don't need much of that. And I'm kind of slicing it up in the middle. I'm going to take my craft glue and glue those 2 pieces of white construction paper to the popsicle sticks that were glued together. And then I'm going to take some pink or red paint, whichever you have, and I'm going to paint something like a red or pink heart-shaped dot towards the middle of my popsicle sticks. And taking my marker, I'm drawing on a mouth, eyes, and whiskers. Can you guess what this is going to be? Okay, I'm going to take my orange and green construction paper, get some craft glue, glue them on towards the bottom middle of the popsicle stick, and I think you can guess what your bookmark is going to be. It's a rabbit with a carrot. Let it dry, and that's your...
And how about some spoken word with our friends from Love in a Big World?
Some people go day to day without, come to school longing to encounter. It's world changing. Like helping a friend on a bad day or giving your last slice of pizza away to someone who really wants it. It brightens their day.
It's that shake my head, oh wow feeling you get when the underdog wins. The feeling of bliss you feel when you face your fears. The thankfulness that brings your mom to tears. It's what the world needs now. Inspirational, challenging.
It's the smile on your teacher's face when the whole class wins because they've chosen to do what's right. It changes your family, shapes community. It's love in a big world.
Are you ready for today's solution to the brain teaser with Steve? Here you go.
The particular one is a classic, but it involves false mathematics. You see, let's do it a different way. Each person paid $9. 9 and 9 and 9 makes 27. That is correct. But then you have to take off the $2 which went for the tip, and that makes 25. And that is exactly how much money they got back. But when you add the $2 on, then you get this number of 29. And then of course when people ask where is the missing dollar, people start wondering, hold on, maybe someone took an extra dollar, maybe a dollar got lost. But the mathematics is that you're supposed to take the $2 off, not add the $2 back on. I hope you like that. There'll be lots more coming in the next edition.
So today we've been talking more about love in a big world, how we can be changed by love, and how we can make a difference in the world by choosing to love. We can make bad situations better when we love. And love looks like courage, honesty, kindness, caring, dependability, and so much more that we talk about here on Music City Kids. As Cornel West says, never forget that justice, doing right by others, is what love looks like in public. Friends, you can make a difference, and you don't have to wait till you're old enough to vote to do it. You can do it right now as you get educated, empowered, and engaged in your community. Remind your families to get out and rock that vote, and we'll see you next time on Music City Kids. Make it a great day.
We are music.